Hey there everybody, we're Luke, Alysha, and Chloe here, and today is going to be part 2 of our RV renovation series. If you missed the last video, we painted our RV cabinets. We gave them a nice white on top, green on the bottom, and it gave it a nice bright facelift, and it looks so much more inviting in here. And today we're going to get into how we redid our RV countertops without taking out the countertops or anything.
We decided to use this Giani Countertop painting kit where you just sponge on the different colors of paint and it kind of gives it like a granite look on your countertops. We've already finished the countertop process in our RV and we actually really enjoyed it. It was a relatively cheap option and relatively easy as well. And we're also on our first camping trip here and it's held up quite well as well. So if you're interested in the kit, there's an Amazon link down below. And we've also finished a couple of other smaller projects here in the RV, so stick around to the end of the video for the before and after footage and we'll show you those upgrades as well.
And with all that being said, let's just jump into the video and show you how we redid all our countertops then.
This is the countertop refinishing kit that we decided on, the Giani White Diamond Kit. The kit involves sponging paint on the countertop to kind of give it like a granite countertop look. Step 1 is the IRONCORE primer, which is rolled onto the countertops. Then step 2 involves sponging on 3 different paint colors, 2A GREYSTONE, 2B QUARTZITE, and 2C white limestone. And then step 3 is the glitter top coat, which is rolled on once everything is dry. The kit also includes a second can of the lightest paint color, the white limestone, so you can add a second coat if you'd like your countertops to be whiter and brighter. The kit also comes with some tools that you'll need to complete the project, like 2 paint rollers and a sponge stippler, which I'm assuming is to get into tighter spaces. The first thing we needed to do was lift off the stovetops, sinks, and faucets. We also ended up removing the sticker backsplash that was in the kitchen and taped off the walls. We'll be adding a new backsplash to these walls, so I ended up leaving a small gap on the wall to make sure that the countertops got fully covered, and I didn't really mind if paint got on the walls. Alright, so first coat that goes on the countertops is this IRONCORE primer, it's called. It says roll on number 1. So we're going to roll this on and then it takes 8 to 12 hours to dry. And then once that's dry, we'll be able to start doing the fun stuff by sponging on the paint and being like a little bit artistic about it. So see you tomorrow. Now that all the primer on the countertops is dry, it's time to move on to step 2, 3, and 4. So first of all, I've got the sponge that they gave me, and it says to cut it into 4 pieces, and then use this to sponge on the colors on the countertop. So we've got 3 colors here, and I've just put them on paper plates, and then we'll like dip it into the paint, and then dab it on. You'll notice that I'm doing all of the sponge on work because, no offense to Luke, but I think I'm a little bit more artistically inclined and attention to detail and stuff like that, so I've decided to take on this project myself.
True. Alysha is definitely the artsy one of the two of us. If I were to try, I would do it and then I'd be like, well, you know, I could put a little more over there, and then I would start sponging around, and then by the time it's done, you'd lose all of the black primer shining through down below, and I would just keep going over and over things, and it would look real messy. So at least I have faith in Alysha doing a good job. She's been training her whole artsy life for this moment, and I'm sure it'll turn out great. I do have to say, however, the black primer on the countertops looks super cool. It's like a matte black, and it looks really nice. I mean, obviously, black is not the kind of vibe we're going for when we're trying to brighten it up and make it nice in here, but check out the tables and everything. I think it's a cool little color by itself. Hopefully it looks as cool with everything put on top of it.
So we're gonna start in the bathroom here because I figure the smallest part of the counter might be the easiest to test it out on. Wish me luck. Okay, and then we're moving on to the second color here, and it says to apply it when the paint on here is still wet, so it kind of mixes together, so let's get cracking.
Looking pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of splotchy. I used a bit too much paint in some spots, but it also says to go pretty thick with your layers, like you don't want too much gray or too much black showing, so I'm just gonna keep going and see how it looks. Alright, so this is what color number 2 looks like, and it's time to go in with color number 3, the bright white. Okay, the bathroom counter and the tabletop are done. Well, not completely done. The table was pretty hard to get the sections to match up because you kind of have to do it in smaller sections to make sure that the paint doesn't dry between the layers of color. So getting it to match in between the different sections was a little bit tricky, and it's not like perfect yet. The last part here is just drying, and it definitely looks a bit brighter than the other sections, and I think that's probably just because it still hasn't dried yet. It does dry quite a bit, not as bright as when it's wet obviously, so I'm gonna let that completely dry to at least as dry as the other sections are at, and then go over top with just another coat of the really bright white. One, I want to get it a little bit brighter, and two, it'll kind of make everything blend in together. And I think it's gonna look really, really good in the end, especially when we get the top coat on. So these parts are almost finished, and then I'm gonna start tackling the kitchen counter, which is actually smaller than the table, so it should be a bit easier actually. So not too much more to go. Okay, so it's been really hard to tell what the actual color is on here with the sun like glaring on this whole half of the table. So I've recruited Luke to be my sunshade by holding a blanket on the window. And yeah, now I can actually see like the actual color. You can really tell this is a way brighter than the rest of it. So I'm gonna go in and get white all over it. Okay, so we're starting on the kitchen area, and I just wanted to kind of let you know a couple of tips I found in case you're going to use this kit as well. With the sponge, I get like minimal paint on it at first, and it kind of comes out a lot at a time, so I kind of spread out these little splotches and make sure that I don't press too hard either, otherwise it's just gonna not really get a sponge imprint. And then once it starts to kind of lose some of its paint, I go in between the areas and kind of blend it out. And I've found that it's really, for the look that we're going for, it's really nice to get almost like full coverage, because we don't want too much black or too much gray in the end showing up. This is kind of the coverage that I do for the first coat, and then pretty much the same for each coat after. And then like I said before, you want to work in smaller sections so that the paint's not drying in between colors, because it's kind of nice to have the colors mixed together just a little bit. And then what I found as well, it's really hard to get in this back crease area, so I've been using this little tiny piece of sponge and getting in there as best I can. And then once I kind of can't get into that crease anymore, this is really ridiculous, but it's just what we had on hand. I have this screw that's under here, and I just taped a little tiny piece of sponge on there. I don't know if you can see that. And I get like really in the corner with this, so it's really precise, which is nice, and it does the job. Okay, I let the paint dry overnight, and it's looking really, really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I said it yesterday, but one thing I really love about this kit is you can really personalize it to however you want it to look. I mean, if you wanted more of a gray and black with the white contrast, you could do that, or if you want to do what we did and just add more white and have it be more of a bright with a little bit of black and gray contrast. Like really you can make it as personalized as you want it. And they even have like different colors and different kits, so you can really personalize it any way you want. And now it's time to do some top coats. The instructions say that you can sand it lightly with a really fine grit sandpaper just to remove any of the really high bumps that the sponging would have put in there, but it seems honestly pretty smooth. It does have some texture obviously, just with layers of paint and the sponge texture obviously, but I am just gonna do a really light sanding just in case there's any really high spots. In the end, I do want it to be as smooth as possible, so I'm just gonna hit it really lightly with that sandpaper, see how it looks, and then give it a rinse and then put the top coats on. I just used some 400 grit sandpaper just in like a cloth and barely put any pressure on at all, but it did smooth it out quite a bit. I just felt the table and then compared it to the countertop that hasn't been sanded yet, and it definitely did smooth it out quite a bit. And the paint is looking as good as ever, like the pattern and everything, so definitely a good call to use a bit of sandpaper. And you just do that extra step to make it a bit smoother. I think it'll turn out a lot better in the long run with the top coat going on and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna sand the rest of it and then get ready to top coat. Okay, and the final step of this project is the top coat here. So the kit comes with a glitter top coat, which I think is really cool. It just has really fine pieces of glitter in there, which when the sun hits the countertops, especially with the finish that we have, like the white and the gray and the black, I think it's gonna look really, really cool, like shining in the sun. And then the top coat obviously is shiny in itself. So I'm gonna put one coat on now and then wait 4 hours and put the second coat on. And then it says to wait 24 hours before using the countertops at all. So we're gonna wait that time to put our sink and our stove back in. And we also ordered a new kitchen and bathroom faucet off of Amazon, and those haven't quite arrived yet either. So we're gonna wait a couple days, install those, and then show you the finished product. So as you saw, we got our new faucets in from Amazon, and I'm really, really happy with how they look in here.
So nice.
Really matches the vibe, and yeah, it just looks so modern.
And I mean, especially compared to the cheap plastic faucets and stuff normally our RV had, just all these little small upgrades together have really brought everything kind of to a new level of quality for us.
And it even has like obviously the pull-out option and the spray nozzle and just all those features that a household, well, I mean, it is a household faucet, so of course it has all those features, and it's really nice to have here in the RV as well.
Totally. And we were in a rush to get everything done, so we were going to consider making a video on putting up all the wallpaper and stuff, but as you can see, we put up peel and stick subway tiles in the kitchen. We put up a shiplap wallpaper in the bedroom as well. We're actually, like Alysha mentioned before, on our first RV camping trip right now. And we really wanted to just make sure we could actually get out on the camping trip on time and get all the last minute stuff cleaned up and ready to roll, so there's still going to be some finishing touches. We still got to do a bit of touch-up paint, a bit more wallpaper stuff we're going to do. There's some trim to go back in the bedroom. We also have a super cool wallpaper we're going to put up in the dinette in the kitchen here. So
yeah, I'm excited about that one. But yeah, stay tuned for a video coming up here soon. We're going to do like a full before and after RV renovation tour.
Yeah.
Should be a pretty good one. And we'll show you absolutely everything that we did in our RV upgrade and a full tour of it.
Otherwise, thank you for joining us on this video here, guys. We're going to get back to camping on our first camping trip with Chloe here, and that'll be the next video you'll be seeing otherwise after this countertop one. And we're getting ready for RV camping season now. We're definitely going to be in full swing this year.
Yeah. Say bye, Chloe.
Boop. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
See ya.